DreAllDay.com.
Before we start, please like and comment on this video so I can get your feedback. Also, click that subscribe button so you can get all the new content I'm dropping on this channel. And the free book, the mental handbook, physical book, Work on Your Game University, just take care of the shipping and handling, send this right to your doorstep. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. We back. 2017 team previews. Memphis Grizzlies went 42-40 last year. Used, I believe it was an NBA record, the number of players they used over the course of the season because of all the injuries that they had. Went to the playoffs, lost in the first round. Let's take a look at who they have, what they have coming into the season, and what we think is going to happen moving forward, or at least what I think. Looking at this roster, even their training camp roster, at least if all these guys actually are on the roster, they got a lot of people, just like they had last year. I know for a fact that Lance Stevenson signed with the New Orleans Pelicans. I think I just read that a day or two ago. So I'm recording this in mid-September, just so you know. So if anything happened, which I missed, or is not listed here on ESPN.com's rosters, then I didn't know about it. Marc Gasol missed much of last season, or all of last season. He had an ACL injury. Hopefully he's back ready to start the season because he is the best player on the roster. They need him if they're going to be a playoff threat. If they're even going to be a threat to do anything in the playoffs, they need him on the team. Vince Carter still going strong. They drafted Wade Baldwin coming out of Vanderbilt. No relation, but shout out to Wade Baldwin. Tony Allen, tough, feisty guard at the two-guard spot playing that wing position. Mike Conley Jr. just got a huge contract this offseason. But Mike Conley Jr. is a solid player. He's a borderline all-star guy. Is he the highest paid player? Should he be the highest paid player in the league based on his performance? No. Should he be well paid? Yes. And it just happened to be he became a free agent at the right time. So nobody should be mad at Mike Conley for that. Mike Conley's going to have to steer this team. If they're going to be contenders, and they should be when they have an all-star in Marc Gasol, they got a top paid player in Mike Conley Jr. They got former all-star in Vince Carter. He's really just a bench veteran guy right now. Let's look at who else is on this team. Who else is on the team that you as a fan should be excited about? Zach Randolph is still here, 35 years old, but still going strong. Chandler Parsons, who got signed away from, Chandler Parsons was great that last year he was playing in Houston. Then he signed with Dallas, and I thought he should have stayed in Houston. But he signed with Dallas, and his performance was not as good in Dallas as it had been prior when he was playing with the Houston Rockets. He's 27 now, still relatively young. I think coming right into his prime right now. But Chandler Parsons, that last year in Houston, he was playing 37 minutes a game, averaged 16.6 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 4 assists. The next year, he went to Dallas, played in 66 games. The minutes went down just a little bit. He was playing a ton of minutes when he was playing in Houston. The shooting percentage down just a little bit. He started shooting more threes. His three-point percentage has actually gone up. And in 2 years, he's been in Dallas. So his three-point percentage is good. He's a good floor spacing shooter. He doesn't shoot a lot of free throws. His rebounding has gone down slightly from 5.5 to about 5 rebounds a game. His assists, he doesn't touch the ball as much, so he's about 2.5 assists. And his scoring average has gone down from 16 points in Houston down to 15.7 in Dallas, down to 13.7 the last 2 years that he's been in Dallas. And he had a few nagging injuries which kept him out of some games, and now he's going to go play for the Memphis Grizzlies. I think he will be a solid addition to this team just because they have a point guard in Mike Conley Jr. who can get the ball to the right people in the right places, and they have two guys who can suck in defenders in the post, in Marc Gasol and also Zach Randolph. So I think this is a good move for Chandler Parsons to get on this team. He could have chose. He had his pick of a few teams he could have picked to sign with. He picked the right team because they have the point guard and they got the big guys who will draw that attention. He can kind of be an all-around guy that he is. Anyone else on this roster I'm excited about? I know Lance Stevenson signed with the New Orleans Pelicans. They still have him listed here on ESPN.com, but I know he signed with the Pelicans. So looking at this roster, I'm not too excited about it. What I am excited about is that they did sign David Fizdale as their coach coming off the Miami Heat bench, where he's worked for many years as an assistant coach there. I used to actually see David Fizdale in the mornings when I would be walking to my gym. I would see him out walking his dogs. We lived in the same neighborhood. But I guess I won't see him no more because I ain't moving to Memphis. So Fizdale's going to get his opportunity to put his stamp on a team that has veterans, guys in place. They got guys in their prime. Marc Gasol, 31. Mike Conley Jr., 28. They're their two cornerstone guys. So they're the guys they're paying the most money. And Chandler Parsons, 27. He's actually getting paid more money than Marc Gasol. So these three guys, they're all in their prime. They're all veterans. They all been in the league. They all been to the playoffs. These are guys that are ready to do something. I think it's time the Memphis Grizzlies, they need to get into the second round of the playoffs. They need to win a playoff series with the roster they're going to go into this season with. And I know many of these young guys, PJ Hairston, JaMychal Green, they have Andrew Harrison here. He's probably going to have to earn his roster spot. Wayne Selden Jr., DJ Stevens, Tony Roten, Brandon Wright. They got a lot of young guys. Jordan Adams, Wade Baldwin, who I mentioned earlier, Troy Daniels, James Ennett. They have a lot of young guys, a lot of them. I don't think all these guys even going to make the roster, but they're going to have a lot of young guys on this team. Young, athletic guys, 3-and-D guys who can hit the three-pointers, who can play good defense, all-around athletic guys who can play more than one position, have some versatility. This is the trend that's happening in the NBA right now. These are the kind of players that are valued. So these guys, Memphis has a lot of them. They probably won't even be able to keep them all. With the new coach, who I think has plenty of ideas on how he wants to do things from being an assistant for so many years. These veterans who've been around many years, like a Vince Carter, like a Zach Randolph, and then you got these guys right here in their prime, like a Chandler Parsons, like a Mike Conley Jr., like a Marc Gasol coming off an injury when he was recognized one of the best defenders in the league and an all-star in the league. So this team's ready to win. I say the Memphis Grizzlies do make the playoffs. They won 42 games last year. I say they can up that to around, I think they can win around 50 games. They stay healthy. I think they can win around 50 games this year with a rookie coach in the Western Conference. And with those 50 wins, I think they win a playoff series. I think this Memphis Grizzlies team wins a playoff series in 2017. Do they win more than one series? I say no. But I think they can win a playoff series if their roster goes with, from what I'm looking at, they just have to cut guys. They don't add anybody. I say they can win a playoff series with this team. Do they go further than that? I'm going to say no, which I think I would see as a disappointment looking at their roster. Knowing that they have a new coach, he'd probably be happy to win one playoff series. Maybe he ain't going to say that. But I think this roster is expecting to actually contend. And to contend, I think contend means you win 2 playoff series. Get to the conference finals. I don't see the Grizzlies doing that with this team. But could that happen? I think it could happen if an injury happens to some other team. But barring that, I don't see that happening with this roster, which I believe to the players should be a disappointment. They just going to have to be disappointed because that's as far as they're going. But if you think different, you got a different opinion, you got a different prognostication for the Memphis Grizzlies this year, and well, let me know first of all. Let me know why down in the comments to this video. Any other comments, questions, praise, criticisms? You see the previews I've done so far. We're working backwards, so I'll tell you what team we're going to work on next. Working backward meaning we're going from the worst teams to the best teams. So the teams that you're going to see is the team that did a little bit better than the Memphis Grizzlies last year in terms of record, which is the Dallas Mavericks. Well, they won the tiebreaker over the Grizzlies. They actually had the same record, but they won the tiebreaker. So we're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks in the next video. Everybody, work on your game. DreAllDay.com.